I get up, I go to work at the same place with the same people. My house is a little bit nicer now, and the car I drive to work is nicer now, but it's pretty much stayed the same. The most difficult part of my job is probably working with the old man.
Richard, the Old Man Harrison's death didn't just end an era, it also made Corey Harrison incredibly wealthy. Behind the success of Pawn Stars lies a hidden story of wealth, legacy, and shocking family twists. Fans have long wondered what Corey truly inherited from his legendary grandfather and whether anyone was secretly left out of the will. From luxury cars to life-changing fortunes, the truth is far more surprising than most people realize. In this story, we reveal the 9 incredible things Corey inherited from Richard, the Old Man Harrison, including priceless lessons and secrets that money simply cannot buy. Among all the traits Richard, the Old Man Harrison passed down to his grandson Corey, none was more important than his incredible work ethic. The old man believed deeply in the value of hard work, an attitude shaped through years of personal struggle, military service, and business determination. His journey from a Navy veteran to the co-founder of the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop was built on discipline, persistence, and refusing to take shortcuts. He was famously dedicated to his business and reportedly never missed a single day of work since 1994, a streak that became symbolic of who he was. This commitment was not about necessity but pride in honest labor and satisfaction in doing a job well. Watching his grandfather show up every day, no matter the circumstances, left a lasting impact on Corey. He learned that success is not about luck or talent but about consistency and determination. Corey adopted this philosophy early in life, starting from the bottom in the pawnshop and earning his place through years of effort and observation. The old man never handed him privileges simply because he was family. Instead, he forced Corey to earn respect through accountability and hard work. Over time, Corey developed the same habits as his grandfather, arriving early, staying late, and paying attention to every deal. Like the old man, Corey learned that the greatest reward of hard work is not just money but personal pride and respect at the end of the day. Even after becoming famous through Pawn Stars, Corey remained grounded because his grandfather taught him that success and reputation mean nothing without discipline to maintain them. The old man's perseverance through difficult times reinforced these values. After leaving the Navy, he and his wife struggled financially and even lost a large part of their savings during the real estate crash of the 1980s. Instead of giving up, he rebuilt from nothing, eventually transforming a small gold and silver coin shop into a pawn shop empire. This resilience showed Corey that failure is never final if a person refuses to quit. The old man taught him to face adversity head-on and treat challenges as opportunities to prove strength. Corey's own career reflects those lessons, as the highs and lows of life only made him more determined. Like his grandfather, he pushed through difficult moments with purpose and perseverance. Another major inheritance Corey received was the old man's leadership style and boss persona. Richard Harrison was known for his calm but commanding presence, which shaped the atmosphere inside the gold and silver pawn shop. His authority came not from fear but from experience, fairness, and discipline. Employees and family members respected him because he followed the same standards he expected from everyone else. Whether dealing with customers, managing inventory, or resolving conflicts, he maintained a sense of control that inspired confidence. Corey absorbed these lessons from a young age and eventually developed his own leadership style modeled after his grandfather's example. The old man combined toughness with humor, teaching Corey that leadership requires both respect and approachability. As the old man gradually stepped away from daily operations, Corey began taking on greater responsibility. Eventually, he became a full-time manager of the gold and silver pawn shop, handling operations, employees, and major business decisions. His leadership style was built over years of watching the old man remain calm and decisive during difficult situations. Corey learned that running a successful business requires making hard decisions quickly and fairly. Like his grandfather, he was not afraid to fire employees who failed to meet expectations, but he also understood the importance of encouraging and supporting hard-working staff members. By leading through example, Corey earned respect not just as the boss's grandson but as a capable leader in his own right. Under his management, the shop continued thriving as one of the most successful pawn businesses in the world. One of the most meaningful parts of Richard Harrison's legacy was the Harrison family estate. The property symbolized not only financial success but also years of sacrifice, perseverance, and family unity. Having come from modest beginnings in North Carolina before building the famous gold and silver pawnshop in Las Vegas, the old man viewed the estate as proof of everything he had accomplished. After his passing, ownership of the property was shared among loved ones, with Corey Harrison receiving partial ownership alongside his father, Rick Harrison, who became the estate's primary executor. For Corey, this inheritance represented more than financial value. It was a physical reminder of his grandfather's influence and a symbol of continuity between generations. The estate also reflected the success brought by Pawn Stars, which turned the Harrison family into international celebrities. Even with fame and wealth, the old man always placed family first. By including Corey in the estate, he showed trust in his grandson and reinforced the importance of unity, loyalty, and shared responsibility. Corey's role in the estate was not just about ownership but about carrying forward the Harrison family legacy and preserving the values that built their success. The old man's love of classic cars became another important inheritance. Over the years, he built an impressive collection of vintage automobiles that reflected his personality and appreciation for American craftsmanship. His collection included iconic vehicles such as a 1963 Chrysler Imperial, a 1966 Imperial convertible, a 1962 Cadillac Sedan DeVille, and a 1957 Chevrolet 150. These cars were not simply luxury items. They represented nostalgia, freedom, and the pride of post-war American culture. He carefully maintained every detail, from the chrome trim to the upholstery, treating each vehicle like a treasure. His favorites included a 1955 Ford F-100 pickup and a 1937 Oldsmobile, both reminders of simpler times before wealth and television fame. One of the most memorable cars in his collection was a 1962 Lincoln Continental, restored and gifted to him on Pawn Stars by Rick and Corey as a tribute to their love and respect. After the old man passed away, the car collection became more than just valuable assets. They became symbols of memory and family connection. Although it was never publicly revealed exactly who inherited which vehicles, many believe Corey received part of the cherished collection. For Corey, the cars were reminders of the lessons his grandfather taught him about hard work, history, and appreciating meaningful craftsmanship. Perhaps one of the most valuable things Corey inherited was the ability to spot fake items. In the pawn business, distinguishing authentic collectibles from convincing counterfeits is essential, and Richard Harrison mastered this skill over decades of experience. He developed a deep understanding of craftsmanship, materials, and authenticity through years of buying, selling, and negotiating. Corey learned these lessons firsthand while growing up in the pawn shop. The old man would carefully inspect every item, paying attention to details others missed, whether it was the texture of an antique coin or the stitching on a vintage jacket. Over time, Corey developed similar instincts, learning to trust his judgment and observation skills. By the time Pawn Stars became famous, Corey had developed a reputation for identifying inconsistencies and questioning suspicious items. While he may not have matched his grandfather's legendary expertise completely, he came close enough to earn respect from customers and fans alike. The old man also taught Corey that spotting fakes was not only about objects but also about understanding people. A false story often meant a fake product. Corey learned how to balance skepticism with empathy, understanding that honesty should always be verified rather than blindly trusted. This mindset helped protect the family business while maintaining the integrity that made the gold and silver pawn shop respected around the world. The gold and silver pawn shop itself became one of Corey's greatest inheritances. Founded in 1988 by Richard Harrison and Rick Harrison, the shop started as a small business before growing into an internationally recognized brand through the success of Pawn Stars. The old man's calm and thoughtful approach shaped the culture of the business, influencing every deal and every interaction. As he grew older, he intentionally prepared Corey to take on greater responsibility so the business could continue successfully after his passing. Corey began at the lowest level, sweeping floors and assisting customers before eventually negotiating deals and managing daily operations. By the time the old man passed away in 2018, Corey had already become an essential leader within the shop. Rick focused on major business decisions and representing the brand publicly, while Corey took charge of day-to-day operations as the full-time manager. Together, they preserved the balance that the old man had created. Years earlier, the shop continued thriving as both a successful business and a cultural landmark in Las Vegas. For Corey, ownership of the shop was about more than money. It was about protecting the Harrison family legacy and honoring the man who built it from nothing. Beyond business and wealth, the old man also passed down priceless life lessons shaped by his 21 years of service in the United States Navy. Long before becoming famous on television, Richard Harrison learned discipline, responsibility, and perseverance during his military career. Those experiences shaped his worldview and became the foundation for how he approached family and business. Corey inherited those lessons not through lectures but by observing his grandfather's daily behavior. The old man taught him that success requires patience, endurance, and commitment even during difficult times. Stories from his Navy days often carried lessons about leadership, teamwork, and humility. He taught Corey that being in charge was not about commanding people harshly but about understanding strengths and helping others succeed. These values became central to Corey's own leadership style at the pawn shop. Like the old man once trusted his shipmates, Corey learned to trust his team while maintaining high standards. The military values passed through generations became one of the defining characteristics of the Harrison family business. Finally, Richard Harrison left behind significant financial wealth. At the time of his death in 2018, he reportedly had a net worth of around $8 million, built through decades of hard work, smart investments, and the global success of Pawn Stars. His estate included financial assets, investments, and business interests that were distributed among family members. Rick Harrison became the primary administrator of the estate, while Corey received a share of his grandfather's fortune. However, Corey understood that the inheritance represented far more than money. The old man had always believed in living modestly, investing wisely, and supporting family above all else. Corey viewed the inheritance not as sudden wealth but as a continuation of the principles his grandfather taught him about responsibility, patience, and long-term thinking. The old man's will also revealed a difficult family decision. One of his sons, Christopher Harrison, was reportedly excluded from the inheritance. This decision surprised many people and reflected the old man's belief in accountability and fairness according to his own personal standards. Even in death, Richard, the old man Harrison's legacy remained deeply tied to hard work, discipline, loyalty, and the family empire he spent his life building.